to absolutely nobody. Stream 4 of creating meowdb, an OLAP database system thing I've had in mind for a while. I've written bits and pieces of it in PHP and JavaScript, and now I'm biting the bullet and first writing it in Java, and then eventually I'll write it in C++, and then eventually I'll write it in C. And hopefully there'll be people here to make fun of me at every stage along the way. So we're going to continue. We are, I don't feel like explaining, we're working on the insert method. At this point, we're going to refactor it to use block storage instead of reading the whole file and instead of reading line by line, because currently we just append lines into the files, and that's not what we want to do. So for mode, we do want to say that this is read-write. And of course, what is our data stream? Where our data stream is a random access file. Now, what we're going to do here is, now that we've done that, we're going to go to our insert, where I have some notes on the side of the screen. My bad. I'm trying to scroll to them. Cool. Here's our insert. Cool. We are going to try to build our block info. So we're going to create a method called findSuitableBlock. We're going to create a method called findSuitableBlock, and we're going to say public void findSuitableBlock. Lovely. And inside of what we want to pass into here is we want to pass in the size of our record and the file size. So we're going to say record size. Here we're going to, as always, we're going to say integer. We're going to say integer record size, and we're going to say integer file size. Now, our record size, actually, I think what we're going to do is we are going to make this, I don't think we're going to need to pass this in. We're going to keep this as is. And when we instantiate our class is actually going to have, our class is going to have a default called private integer record size, which is going to be equal to, I guess this should probably be block size, 48. Let me confirm. Oh, file size, sorry, my bad. We're gonna come up to the, we're gonna ignore that for now. Sorry, I guess I should share my screen to show what I'm taking from, but I'm rewriting blocks of PHP code, and that's why I'm so confused. No, see, we are actually gonna keep this, and we are gonna use, where are we at? Record size, and we do want the file size. So very quickly, we're going to serialize and grab the file size, but simultaneously, we're also, after creating the data stream, we're going to say that the integer called file size is the data stream dot length. Lovely. Cast to end. Shoresies. What do you not like? So something I'm curious about is, why is this one mad at me? utils.pp, cool. Nice. So let's look at that. We're going to say java.run, run java, 0, that's perfect. So it's a bit weird. We're going to say, we're going to say file size. I'm going to say int file size equals this. And sorry, my bad. This guy's a nice little inty boy. So we got our file size, and here we're actually going to say, what we want to do is we actually want to grab the size of the record. So this is actually going to be record size. And we're going to say serialized.length. Very nice. How do we do that? Change to length. Cool. And as always, we're going to utils.pp, and let's actually look at our rect size, because I am a bit curious. 264. Sweet. Awesome. That seems like a lot of bytes, but let's assume that it's all chill. Let's look inside of our serialized record. So all we're putting, is we're putting the integer, we're never putting any of the values. And we do need to pass our schema into here and do this based on the schema. So that is something we should do soonsies. Cool. So now when we go to our find suitable block, we're going to have our file size. Let's say it's an int. And now we're going to say it's a lon. Let's say both of them are lon. And we're going to say that this is also a lon, which is going to be record size. Lovely. Can I make this a lon? I can, and do I need to cast anything then? I don't. Okay, so it wanted to be a lon, all a lon. Get the length of the current file. Now, we're not going to be focusing on empty blocks or anything right now. We're just going to be appending to the very end of the file. So when we look at our find suitable block, we've got our record size, we've got our file size. We're going to flip these bad boys because I think it might make more sense. And when we call our friend, we're going to say find suitable block. We pass in the record size and we pass in the file size. Sweet. Sweet. We are moving along. I'm going to zoom this guy out. Okay, so we need, in our PHP, we're essentially, we're doing this. Block use spaced, if block ID, entry.getKey. That makes no sense. What if we do prepare new block? Yeah, I think we're going to say, before we do a find suitable block, which is what we're going to be doing when we're actually going to be reusing blocks, we're actually directly going to call a little method called prepare new block, which is actually going to take the exact same parameters. And it's going to be called prepare new block. Sweet. And inside of prepare new block, what we're going to do is we're actually going to say that the integer block ID is equal to file size divided by the block size. Now, block size is going to be empty, and let's see if create local variable. How do I did that do anything? Yeah, block size. And we're going to say that the block size is actually 48. That's going to be static. Now, inside of our PHP script, we said that block sizes were 48, and the total storage size is going to be this big. We're going to make it a pretty small database for now. And let's actually say that the block sizes are 480, as we've seen that this is 264. So I think this is going to be a good excuse for us to try out some stuff. So we're going to go down a block size. Lovely. Type mismatch. And I think we do need to convert this. Prepare new block. Nice. So we do need to convert our friend into an integer, because we want, we're going to cast our friend as an integer. Lovely. So this is going to be 0. I know that it's going to be 0 for now, but because we're going to be testing stuff, we're going to say block ID equals to, I'm going to put the block ID here. So we definitely want some form of debugging when we do this. Space used in the last block. Yeah, we're going to do this. So we're going to say int space used in last block. We're going to say that int file size modulo block size. Now, the coolest thing here is this should give us the remainder of what we're looking for. So we're going to say if block size minus space used in last block is less than the record size, what we want to do is we want to increment the block ID, and we want to say that the space used in the last block is 0. And sorry, block ID gets incremented. Very nice. So we're going to put this little bit here. And now what we want to do is we want to prepare the block info. So I don't know if we're going to have a special method for this. I did in PHP. Not sure why. Yeah, maybe we're going to do it. We're going to say, we're going to return prepare block info. No, we're not going to pass anything in. We're going to put this here right now. Prepare block info. And what do we want to do? So if I remember correctly, in block info, we're essentially creating a map that's going to be the information that we need. So it's going to be a string and an object map where that's going to be called block info. Straight up, could it just be called block? No, we'll say block info, which is going to be equal to new hash map. Cool. So we've created a nice little hash mappy boy. Cool. I surprisingly have a lot more energy than I expected. So first of all, we want to create our insertion point. And our insertion point is actually just the block ID times the block size, right? Because we've already established that that's what we're doing, plus the space used in the last block. This should be pretty simple. Tightness match from lon to int. I guess we can cast all of this to int. Yeah, we're going to cast all of this to int. We're going to say block space used, and we're going to call it, we're going to say space used in last block plus the record size, which do we, and as always, we're going to say int. We want to cast everything, make sure everything is super happy as a clam. So now we're going to pop down to our block info, and we're going to say block info dot put. Our key is going to be ID, and in ID we're going to say we want the block ID, right? Let's pass in our block ID. Lovely. What are we going to have next? We're going to have our insertion point, which we'll probably rename later, but we'll keep that around. We have our insertion point. Sweet. We're going to have our block used space. No problem. And that's all we're going to keep for now. And let's actually return this. We're going to, from all of this, we're inside of prepare block info. Sorry. There. We just need these through, right? ID, insertion point, blocks, use space. Lovely. And what we're going to do here is we're going to actually return block info. Now, this is going to yell at me. It's like, hey, bro, what are you doing? It's a void. And we say, well, you, my friend, are no longer a void. And yeah, we're going to keep it like that. Sweet. Nice. So we've built our block info. So when we say find suitable block, we're actually just going to return. We're actually going to return prepare new block. And we pass in the record size. We pass this, and now it's going to be mad at us again for saying, hey, what are you doing? You are trying to return something that is anticipated. Nice. So here we're going to say block info, and as we already know, As we already know, the block info is a map of a string to an object. Cool. It's a little ugly, but we'll fix stuff as we get there. So now that we have our insert, we have our block info, lovely. And what we're going to do here is we're going to start trying to write the record. Now inside of, I don't think we're going to create a method yet for this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say datastream.seek, and we're going to move to the blockinfo.get, and we're going to ask for the insertion point. And what are you unhappy? Cast one argument along. Yes, please. Nice. We're going to seek that. Now what we're going to say is we're going to say datastream dot write, and what we want to do here is we want to write our serialized version of the record. Sweet. So now I think we've done enough. We're not gonna persist anything. We're gonna write anything because we're not doing anything super fancy. And let's try running this and let's see what happens. So we're gonna run. Nice, no worries. Cannot be classed Java long bootstrap. Where are we at? So it's on app line. No, it's actually on insert at a line 145. Cannot be class. Java integer cannot be cast to a long. No problem. No problem. So first of all, if we say that this is an int, is it going to be mad at me? Is it going to be upset? Is it going to be like, hey, what are you doing? Nice. So, if we go to data, test2.json, something seems wrong. So yeah, I think we messed that up. We're going to delete this. Yeah. And why I accidentally said that it's a txt, but we're actually going to say that's a db. It's a db format. That's what we're doing. We're going to run this again. On Java, boom. We dump that into here. I think if we refresh, we should have this. It's a binary or uses, sure. Nice. I like what I'm seeing here. So let's run our Java again. Sweet. We're still on block ID 0. Very cool. Lots of nulls. Something is wrong because it put the word view into it. Let's run the Java again. We're going to figure out what's going on by just boom, boom, boom. We move to block ID 1. Lots of nulls. And for some reason, we can still see view. Now, what are we going to do with this info? What are we going to do with this info? Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Something seems wrong. Serialized. We serialized the record. Sorry, I need to plug my laptop in. 2 seconds. I'm still here. We're just having some technical difficulties. If I can knock the serialization bit out, I'll be extremely happy because this part is fairly difficult. This part is fairly difficult. Cool. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on the read method. We're going to steal this. We're going to steal the data stream. We're going to do a lot of the same stuff. We're going to go to read. I'm going to find my PHP read function. Cool. And so we're going to start at the very beginning. So string, table name. We already know how it all works. And we're going to say db.read, and we're going to put test2. we want to read our test2, right? Cool. Now we have our data stream, amazing. And so what we're going to do right away is we're going to say data stream.seek, and we're going to say go to the beginning of the file. What do you not like? Sure. It's going to go to the beginning of the file. Now we're going to create a new map of records. We're going to say string to object, cool, and it's going to be called records, and it's going to be a new map. We're going to put in block size because it's going to be of the block size. Now I think here, if I'm not mistaken, we have to say add suppressed or whatever, add suppressed warnings unchecked. Yeah, so that's happy now with me, sweet. We're going to add a little incrementer, coolio, we're going to say count equals 0. Now we're going to write our while loop because we want to iterate over this, and we're going to say while.stream.get file pointer is less than, and what we're going to say is we're going to say, uh-oh, what are you upset about? What are you upset about? Whatever. Hopefully this is going to be happy. We'll see. So what we actually want to do is we want the same thing we did for the insert with the size of the stream, right? The data stream.length is we're going to say file size. We want to take the same thing and we're going to say while this is less than the file size, coolio. Awesome. While this is less than the file size, what we're going to do is we create a byte array. And in our byte array, we're going to call this a block. And so what's going to be here is we're going to say a new byte array of size, block size. And I think, as always, our friend's mad at us. Cool. Now, we're going to say data stream dot read fully, if I'm not mistaken, and we pass in our block. Amazing. We're going to say that records, we're going to say records count plus plus equals, and we're going to create a function called process block. Now before we do this, I'm very curious about saying utils.pp, and what we're going to do here is we're going to say block. What happens if we run this? Everything go kaboom? Yes. Big kaboom. IO exception. Where we at though? Test2, right? We're reading the test2 file. No problem. And at what point did we fail? I think I know where we failed. When we read, when we initialize all of this. No, this should be good. So let's utils.pp file size. Let's see if we're even here. We're going to run. We are here. Oh, look, and we actually did do this, and then we crashed. I think we did it twice, and then we ran into something. Which is actually good news for us. Good news, everyone. Because I think somehow we're gonna definitely wrap all of this in a try-catch. We're gonna wrap all of this in a try-catch. Let's run this like this now. So same situation, right? I didn't see it run. Yeah, same situation, does it twice, then it crashes. Cool. We're gonna create a method called process block. We're going to say public void process block. What this is going to take in is it's going to take a byte array, which is a block, right? We have process block in PHP land. Sweet. And what we're going to do here is we're going to say that we want to create a map of string to an object called records. And this is going to be our hash map. We did this earlier, but we sort of fucked it up. Cool. Now we're going to say byte buffer. We're going to say byte buffer because we want a buffer. And we're going to say that our byte buffer equals to a byte buffer dot wrap of the block. Sweet. We're going to give it an offset. We'll give it an offset of 0 for now. Cool. We're going to say while buffer remaining. Yeah, well, I forget why I went for a 4 here, but while buffer dot remaining is bigger than 4. Not sure why it ended up being 4. I'll probably need to change that. If buffer dot remaining is less than 4, what we're going to do is break. I don't know why that's even here. We're going to say the length is the buffer dot get int. Amazing. No, actually what we want to do here. Right. What we want to do here is we want to pass in, we want to pass in deserialized record because we already wrote this. So let me see this quickly, and this returns a map to a string to an object. So what if instead of process block, we actually say deserialize. Well, we're going to say deserialize record, and we pass in our block. Oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Are we able to sustain such power? So fuck this. Boom. Exception. SQL.read Java 210. No problem. So let's try. We're gonna try. And we're gonna catch. Sorry, I'm always so bad at. Where's our friend, Mr. GPT? Wrap this in a try catch. Go, buddy. Oh yeah, it always breaks on like mini views. So I'm gonna write it because I keep fucking this up. Try. We're gonna say catch. In our catch, we want an IO exception E. We're gonna say a system.error.println, and we're gonna say fucked it. No, we're not gonna swear. We're gonna say can't read block. And so I think if we run this now, we're at least not gonna crash. Okay, I'm not sure how bad this is. So what happens if instead of doing this, what we're gonna do is we're going to utils.pp. Utils.pp. And we're not gonna return anything because it's a void. We're gonna throw it into the void. We're gonna run Java. Boom. Look at this. We are deserializing. That's insane. So, can we do like a list? Can we do a list of a map of a string of an object? What if we did that? It's super annoying that it does this. New map. Wait, you know what? We're just gonna fucking... I feel like this is dumb. We're gonna say we want a new array list. Look at that. What if we do that? And we're just gonna say records.push, records.add. What if we do this? What if we try to do something very silly like this? Boom, 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 boom. And we've got our frickin' records, baby! And we only push if it succeeds, by the way. We only push if it succeeds. We're gonna run this, boom, and we've deserialized. And it can't read that block because something very iffy is going on, but it's no problem. We don't need our count anymore. Okay, so we've done some very cool stuff here. We've done some very cool stuff here. We're gonna comment a lot of this out. Sorry. 31 minutes in, and we've serialized and deserialized, which I think is a pretty big deal. I don't want to brag or anything, but it's a pretty big deal. Let's wrap everything in this to make sure it's all happy. Let's run this again. Boom. And we've serialized our events. If we go... So apparently we've created 2 entries. So now, let's try this. We're going to insert 4 more entries. And then it should tell us like, hey, we got our blocks, we did it, blah, blah, blah. We're gonna run this and it's gonna go boom, 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 block 2, block 3, block 4, block 5. So a new block every single time. Might be wrong, but we'll see. And now when we run this, we're gonna get 6 entries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a functioning database, my friends. It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. So something, there's lots of bugs. We'll fix this as we go. There's lots of bugs, but something we're going to immediately fix. So first of all, I do want my records to return a map, right? As soon as this succeeds, we're actually going to say, so records is going to be here. And then as soon as this all sort of succeeds, we're going to say return records, right? Void method cannot, no problem. And we're returning this complex ass map. So it should be happy. So now, when we go to read, we're going to say this response equals, and we're going to say utils.pp here, and we're going to say plus, and we're going to say response. So when we run that, we're boom. Amazing. Amazeballs. Something I'm curious. Yeah, no, that's fucking sick. That is very good. Okay, so something I want to do right away is when we say serialize block, serialize record. Cool. So we have this, right? And we're saying like, okay, this has to be an int, this has to be a this. So I'm not a fan of this. So where we call serialize record, we say record. What I also want to do is I actually also want to pass in the schema. And the reason for this, I'll show you in a second. We're going to say, we're going to yoink, yoink, yoink. We're going to say string, string. This is going to be called schema. And we're going to do something similar for when we prepared, not when we prepared the block, But yeah, when we validated the record, we did some cool stuff here. I'm going to steal this right here. And now, okay, we have our schema. So check this out. We're going to focus on the insert right now. Yeah, screw this. We're just going to do one insert. We're going to put apply. Hopefully, we're going to keep it as view and hopefully it doesn't break. We're not going to have any returns. We don't care about types being valid and stuff. So what we're going to do is for each schema, and then we say value here, and we say expected type, we're going to say switch expected type, then we're going to say case, then we're going to say break. And check this shit out right here. We're going to say where it is int, what we're going to do is we're going to treat it this way. So we create our buffer at the top. Create our buffer at the top, 264, amazing. And where it's an int, what we're going to do is we're going to say value. Right? Boom. Now, if the case is break, and I want to go look at my schema quickly. If it's int and if it's string, we're going to treat it slightly differently. Cool. If it's a string, we won't need this anymore, by the way. If it's a string, what we're going to be doing is we're going to say that string, and we don't want to call it event. What we'll do here is we're going to say value. What we're going to do here, yeah, I mean, we're just going to recast it, honestly. We're going to say value. What are you upset about? Duplicate local variable. We want to... What are you upset about? Yeah. So cool. Then we're going to say event, math.min, buff.position. We move our buffer all the way to here. So we're chill. And then we return the buffer array. Right? So let's see what happens here. Shit, I think we did it. So I think we're going to have 7 blocks now. And let's see what happens here. Boom, and we have our 7th entry. Oh damn! It's crazy. It's crazy. So we're gonna do the same situation, if I'm honest. And now we're gonna go for deserialize. So let's look. Here we're doing a buffer, we're doing an allocate. Here we're gonna do a buffer. We're gonna wrap the data. We're gonna create a record hash map. And we're gonna modify something here. We're gonna take, oh yeah. So as always, for deserialize record, very inefficient code, but whatever. For deserialize record, we haven't gotten our schema, and we actually need to. I'm breathing so heavy, it's crazy. So for read, we still want to grab our schema. Boom. We're going to say schema, and we're actually going to pass the schema to deserialize record. What we're going to do here, we're going to do the same thing as last time. We're going to say it is a map of a string to a string, and it is called our schema. And then we're going to take our for loop. We're going to take our for loop, right? And so that's essentially our entry.key value, and what we're doing here, we're saying buffer. Yeah, we're going to take our switch statement as well. And instead of put int, we're going to say get int. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to say get int didn't need any arguments, right? So we're actually going to say get the integer, and we're going to put into the key, and in fact, there is no value. Cool. And in case, so we can get rid of the other int, which is no longer necessary, and we're putting everything into record, if I'm not mistaken. We are. So we return record. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say, if you're a string, awesome, we're going to get the string bytes, we're going to do all of this, we're going to put into the key, we're going to put event. And by event, we don't even really need to call this event. What we're going to do is we're going to go boom. Sick. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if our deserialization works from the schema. Okay, now the very big moment. Let's say we say apply. We're going to insert one record, and right away we're going to read. Let's see if it breaks everything. And event view, block ID 7. So I'm concerned because it looks like we wrote, but where is our event apply? Event view, event view. So it seems like something broke. We're going to try writing another record with apply. So we should have 9 records, I think. We're going to run this. Oh yeah, baby. So what happens if we try to, so we should be around here then, value-wise. We're going to run, boom, 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 and we have 2 applies. So I think I just forgot to comment it. Holy crap. We are done with serialization and deserialization. Of course, I could set these block sizes to significantly bigger. I would say I would do some, yeah, so these could be way bigger. There could be a bunch of code cleanup I can do. But long story short, let's run a quick little demo, start to finish. So we're going to say, that's crazy. Yeah, and I can even add, wait, that's my NoSQL demo? No, I don't feel like putting filters into, I don't think I feel like putting filters. So maybe I'll do this. What if I say public void build filter list? Say we do this. Let's say we do it like this, right? We bring in filter list is here as well. Coolio. And what we're going to do is filter list is a list of filters. So we're actually going to return that. And then here we're going to say return filter list. Boom. So we're going to say, and you know what we're going to do? We're actually going to pass in the string query name. and we're going to interpolate it. Pop this bad boy here, and cool. So for a filter list, we're actually going to say build filter list. And then I guess that's going to be test 0, I think. But let's see something. So we're going to go to our SQL class, and we're actually going to go to our read method. We're going to add in a list of filters called filters. We're going to import filter because apparently this guy, nice. And what we want to do, we're actually going to go here. We're going to say test 0. Cool. So now we're going to have a query in here. Sorry, and filters should be, I'm not going to insert anything. We're going to say build filter list. How crazy is it going to be? What are you upset about? String query. No, it's cool. It's happy now. No, it's not happy. Why would it not be happy all of a sudden? Oh, I guess because we're in a static. Ugh. Gross. Call static Java method. Call non-static Java method from static main method of class. Right. Super annoying. That's wildly irritating. Because I'm in the main method, I have to do all of this nonsensical thing. What if... Can I do that? Can still work? Can I say utils.pp? So I think this is going to crash because it's not going to know. Yeah. That's very irritating. How to do this in the main application, main file. Let's go, baby. Lame. Lame. We're gonna say main app equals new main. I guess lowercase. Lame. Oh, so irritating. Okay, we're gonna just take all of this then. We're gonna put all of this here. We're gonna remove all of this stuff, and we're gonna say filter list. Filter list from query. We're gonna say string query name equals test 0. Cool. Now we have our filter list. Right? Yeah, we don't care about this. Now we're gonna pass in our filter list read. We are gonna. Why am I doing no SQL here? Oh my god, I pasted it into the wrong thing. Even grosser. We're gonna say go away. Go away. We're gonna say filter list gonna stop yelling at me. It's cool now, we're cool, we're friends. We're gonna go to db read. We have our filters. Now in NoSQL, look what we're gonna do. We're gonna say boolean add record blah 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 and check this out. What is my map? Where did map come from? What is map? Filters dot invoke. So wait a minute. For filters. And no, what I want to do, it's not map. This should be called row. And after we've deserialized the record, actually it's going to be like this. We're going to say map. No, we're going to say map of a string to an object called record, which is going to be this. And we're going to put this here. We're going to say record, and only if we're going to say that yes, if add record equals true, only then are we going to add the record. Yo, if this works, we'll be wildin'. App.java, we're going to try to read, run, and we're filtering only for view. We're filtering only for where it's view. Now if I change it to apply and just run my Java project, because I don't even need to like recompile. We just get the applies. Holy shit, we have like a functioning database. Cool. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna sleep, but next we have indexes. We're gonna focus on creating indexes. We're gonna focus on creating B trees. We're gonna focus on creating aggregations, aggregation functions. In the future, we have cool stuff to implement, like what would we do if we want, oh, joins, by the way, but what would we want to do, how would we implement window functions, how would we do this or that. So yeah, that's good for today's stream, at least for this. Maybe I'll do something lighter and easier a little bit later, but this is good. Thank you. Bye.